The cornea service is one of numerous kind of separate departments at Wills that takes care of cornea problems.
Our cornea service is the best, but most importantly, the best physicians in the world.
You will see in the manner of a day somebody who got off their private jet to come in for treatment, and someone who could barely afford to ride SEPTA to come for treatment. But when they come through the door, they are treated exactly the same, and they get world-class treatment. That's the mission of Wills Eye Hospital.
The honorees at this year's Wills Eye Ball are Dr. Peter Leibson, Dr. Elizabeth Cohen, and Dr. Chris Raffaello. In many ways, their names are synonymous all over the world for many people with Wills Eye Hospital. I think Peter is the quintessential example of the ideal mentor.
I began my residency at Wills Eye in July of 61 and finished it in July of 64. Afterwards, I went up to Mass Eye and Ear Infirmary, where I was a corneal fellow with Klaus Dolman.
Peter was the champion in the specialization of cornea.
You see the type of mentorship that Dr. Leibson exhibited being passed on to Elizabeth Cohen, passed on to Chris Raffaello.
I graduated from the Wills Eye residency in 1979.
I think she was the second or third woman to be a resident.
I had a great experience as a resident at Wills, and I loved cornea from my exposure even in medical school.
I recommended that she go up to Mass Eye and Ear Infirmary with Dr. Dolman.
I went to Boston and trained under Klaus Dolman, who had trained Peter Leibson. I wanted to come back to Wills because I loved working there. I loved the people there. I loved the patients. It was a perfect environment for training, and I was confident it would be a great place for me to be on the faculty.
So when I went to Peter and Elizabeth as a resident and said, I'm interested in doing cornea, they said, well, you can, of course, stay here at Wills if you want to do our fellowship, but there's really one other fellowship we think you should look at.
The University of Iowa had an excellent eye department, one of the top 10 eye departments in the country, in the world. And the head of cornea there was Jay Kratchmer, who was one of my fellows years ago. And we encouraged Chris to do his corneal fellowship at Iowa. We were very lucky to have them go into cornea and to come back to Wills Eye Hospital and continue to run the cornea service.
One of the nice things about cornea subspecialty, and especially my practice, is you can develop long-term relationships with many patients.
My name is Alex Cummings. I remember the day that I completely lost vision in my eye. I was sitting on the couch and I was trying to hold my hand up to my eye, like right in front of it, and I couldn't see anything. The beginning of September 2015, we took a trip to the emergency room at Wills Eye Hospital, and I saw Dr. Appuano that day. So I had my cornea transplant September 21st, 2015, so 8 years ago now. I am just eternally grateful to Wills Eye Hospital. I vowed then to never ever take my sight for granted.
Our service is growing. We're a little bit, we don't have enough space here at Wills for all the patients that we'd like to see. The next big thing at Wills is we're expanding the cornea service. We're going to increase its size by close to 50 to 75%, and also to increase our faculty size.
Wills is well known around the country as one of the leading corneal fellowships in the country, and I'm very proud of that.
And so I'm thankful that I had the opportunity to be trained by Peter and to work with both of them.
Wills is part of my DNA. I'd be happy to leave a fraction of the legacy that Peter and Elizabeth have left here at Wills.
I thank you for your service. I thank you for what you've meant to Wills Eye. We are a world-class institution, an institution in all that that means. And as a result of that, we are better because you have crossed our threshold. You have treated our patients. On behalf of a grateful city, we thank you.